Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining our webinars for today. My name is Ivory, and I will be your moderator for today's presentation. At the end of this presentation, we'll take some of your questions. You might want to enter them into the question box. Just make sure that the questions are detailed and specific, just in case it is something coming from the first part of the presentation. Also, any questions that we can't answer today, we will answer them offline afterwards, or you can submit or create a ticket, which you can track onto the portal at support.windwardsoftware.com, and support can be able to help you out with that one as well. Also, now we can now access past webinars presentation on our website, and all the presentations are in there. The past presentations are in there, and the website would be www.windwardsoftware.com/webinar. For today's presentation, we're going to be discussing GST remittances. This is also a great topic, especially that we are coming for the year end, almost the year end. And our speaker for today is Abby, and she's one of the tenured software specialists with Windward, and I believe she's with the company for over 4 years now. So let's get started. Take it away, Abby.
Thank you, Avery. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. And yes, GST remittance is our topic for today's webinar. Basically, this webinar will discuss how GST is dealt with when it's time to pay Canada Custom and Revenue Agency. So we have two sides of GST, or goods and services tax. One is the GST that we collect from our customers, and the other one is the GST that we pay on our purchases. The default ledgers are 1080 for the GST input tax credit. This is the GST that we collect from our customers. 2080 for GST collected. This is the GST that we pay on our purchases. They do not need to remain those numbers. If you prefer different numbers, then they can be also set up, or the chart of accounts. Okay, for our demonstration, I'm gonna use those two ledger accounts, and I'm gonna run my balance sheet here. For the current dates. To show you that the GST input tax credit and the stated in 1080 and 2080 for GST payable. Okay, and so those two accounts, or the 2080 account is going to get increased when we do a sale, because that's going to be the GST that we collect from our customers, and it will be on a completed sales, so that would be AR, or accounts receivable, or a cash type of invoice. Okay. Just wait. State. Sorry for that. Just there we go. So let's sell a product here. Okay, let's say so the GST is accumulated of $16, and I'm gonna close this invoice, go to the balance sheet again to view the GST that we have collected from the customer. 750. That would be under 2080 and okay. So let me just delete this. Let me run the trial balance. So there, $16 that we have collected from our customer. So for the 1080, um, that is going to be increased by bills that we will get in from our suppliers. Close this. And I'm gonna go to accounts payable, bills, add bills. Okay. Say I'm gonna put $150 and GST. So we have $7.50 for our 1080 account. Just save this. I'm gonna go back to the trial balance. So here's the accumulated for the $7.50 accumulated for the 1080 account, and offset it by $16 that we collected. So that would be sorry, $8.50 that we need to submit to the Canada Customs and Revenue Agency because we have collected more than we paid. All right, we can actually run a tax report to show how much we need to pay, and you can either run the tax area report or the tax zone report. Okay, and you can set the by month or by date range. So I'm just gonna run this with for today. So, and of course you can run this for monthly or quarterly period depending on what it is you need to report by. Let's go view. So here's $16 GST that we collected from the customer. And if I go credits here, this is the total tax credit $7.50. And if I go to the GST summary, so it says here that I have collected $16 and I got tax credits of $7.50, and the tax due is $8.50. So this is the amount that I'm gonna need to pay to um, CCRA. Okay, so from this report, I can uh, fill out my GST form, but as well I can choose to enter a bill to the CCRA. So from the menu, I go to accounts payable, bills, add bills. Okay, and then I use the 1080 and the 2080 account. I need to clear out. So that would be, so this is $16 and this one is 7.50 or $7.50. Sorry, negative $7.50. And that gives my balance $8.50 for this bill that I need to submit to the CCRA. So this will be okay, November GST, and if I save this and go back to the balance or the trial balance. Okay, balance sheet. Okay, now it's showing that my 1080 and my 2080 are reduced by uh, a reduced zero value. So to summarize, the accumulation of the accounts GST input tax credit and GST collected on sales will be increased by the action of creating a point of sale as well as creating the accounts payable bills. Once those two accounts get accumulated, you can generate a tax report or the tax zone report to tell you how much you have collected as well as pay. And those two accounts are going to be used when we create a bill to the revenue agency that we need to pay. And yeah, that would be all for my presentation um, for today. And before we proceed to our Q&A portion, I have something to share with you. So we have webinar archives as what Ivory had mentioned a while ago. Um, we can sign up for future webinars or view previously recorded events. Just go to windwardsoftware.com/webinars. And we have the Help Center. All available resources are listed here. Just go to windwardsoftware.com/webinar. Sorry, .help, windwardsoftware.com/help. Also, customer care portals. You can search our knowledge base or submit and track support tickets. Just go to support.windwardsoftware.com. For our Windward Learning Academy, you can spin up new employees or have lesson-based topics. Just go to academy.windwardoncloud.com. If you experience entire system down, unable to take payment, cannot log into System 5, or you're recovering from power outage, you are qualified to submit an emergency ticket. Just submit it submit it to windwardsoftware.com/emergency. And we have Windward Professional Services where you can, if you wanna get guidance from one of our professional services specialists working with system integrity or accounting role-based plan, contact your account manager for a code or just directly go to windwardsoftware.com/professional services. All right. So if you have clarifications or questions regarding my presentation, you may drop it down in the question box.
Thank you, Abby. So yes, we do have three questions. First question would be coming from Connie, and she says, between the three reports, the total sales don't match. Will you go over this? And the tax credits don't match either.
Uh, what? Sorry, the three reports. Is that I only run
Uh,
the. Sorry.
I'm not sure what was the report. Connie, can you please specify? Also, there was one question for Joe Keller. What is the difference between the tax area report and the tax zone report?
Actually, the difference is just what those two reports um, provides you. Let For example, this tax area. So I'm just gonna go PST. Um, let's see. Give you the same amount, but there are some details in the tax report that this tax area report doesn't have. So I'm gonna run the tax zone report. So it's in the summary. This tax zone shows tax due. This tax area doesn't have that tax due. So yeah, it's still showing the taxes collected and other infos. Also, there are infos or details in the tax area report that the tax report doesn't have. Did I um, did I answer your question, Joe?
I hope that answers your question, Joe. Just to add on to that one, basically the tax area report, if you have a tax that are area specific, let's say for Canada, if you have different taxes for Alberta, for British Columbia, from what do you call this? From Saskatchewan, if you have different taxes on those area, you can identify that one onto the tax area report, or you can run it separately by area in there. While I don't believe it
Oh
is
yeah.
available for the tax zone report because tax zone report is based on, or you can only narrow it down to based on the what do you call this? The tabs on the setup, like if it's tax one, tax two, with a name, of course. So you can only specify by that one. Yeah, that's for the additional, and also like what Abby mentioned, there are some other information that are not available to one of the other reports. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, Joe. And going back to Connie about the three available reports, Abby, I think the report is under the three on the tax report. I think it is just it's the tax area, tax zone, and GST report she was referring. And she said, I've been using this for years and it has never matched.
Oh, the GST report. Oops.
I believe that those were the three reports that she was referring.
Oh, she's asking about the total sales, right?
Yeah, she's asking about total sales that did match. She says, "Will you go over this?"
Okay, let me. This is run by one and person or no? I only got one transaction for this one. So total sales is 320. For this one.
Uh, okay, well, Abby is searching
And
for
it's
that
just
one.
it's yeah.
Just to give you a details or some other information about that one, Connie. For the three reports, the tax zone, tax area, and the GST report. First of all, GST report is just based on to the ledgers information. So it's looking at your ledgers. The sales in there, I think it's the total of your total incomes. So take note that when it comes to ledger, there are some ledgers that are not considered as really a ledgers for sale. Some of them are just ledgers that you create like for a journal entry, so that involves journal entry. While the other two reports are actually getting its information based on the invoices created, not on the ledger, but
Invoice.
the invoices created. So on if you have a journal entry against those ledgers like cost and income, it doesn't affect the other two reports. It only affects the GST report. So normally you cannot expect that particular report to match onto the other two, but these two reports, the GST and the tax area report, they should match. And if they don't, there must be something to it that needs support to look at in order for us to identify what's causing the mismatch. Before there was a bug about that particular report. One of them, I think, I'm not sure which report for the GST or the tax area. One of them is actually not including the returns of the items onto the report. That's why the other one is the sales of the other one is much higher than the other one, but it was already been fixed. I'm not sure what else is what's causing it. It could be there's a new issue, a new glitch onto that particular or that one of the reports, or it's just transactions that that we overlook that needs to be checked by the support. I would recommend you request or create a ticket for that one so it can be investigated further. That way you can also know what's causing it. And yeah, but just to put this up, those two report, tax area and tax report, are expected to be matching. I hope that answers your question. uh Aside from that, is there anything else? Thank you so much, Connie. If you're going to create a ticket, yes, we'll have Abby or some of the technician, we're going to calling you for that one. And is there anything else? Is there any other questions? Okay, hold on. I think there's one. Oh, is it Joe? Okay. Yeah, I think there's no other questions left, Abby. Thank you so much again. Once again, thank you so much for joining us in our webinar. I hope you can join us back again on our next webinar, which is I think it's in November 20th. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, it's gonna be um a webinar that the topic on that particular webinar is also interesting. It is about pay bills, pay AP bills using a credit card. Yes, if you can be able to join us on that particular webinar, that will be great. And again, thank you so much, Abby, for the presentation. And thank you guys for joining us today. Have a great evening.
Have a great day, guys. Bye.